The following program is sponsored by CBN.
Well, welcome to the 700 Club. The federal government reopened today after Congress reached a short-term spending deal. Now lawmakers have to work together, or Washington could shut down again in just a few weeks.
The key sticking points once again involve immigration and possible legal status for the Dreamers. Abigail Robertson brings us the story from Washington.
After days of round-the-clock negotiations, lawmakers finally reached an agreement to fund the government for the next 3 weeks. The House voted Monday night to end the standoff after the Senate did so earlier in the day.
With the pointless, damaging, partisan theatrics of this government shutdown behind us, serious and bipartisan negotiations can resume.
Senate Democrats agreed to support a temporary stopgap spending measure that reopens the federal government, but only until February 8th, after McConnell promised the Senate will take up an immigration bill, which includes protections for the Dreamers.
Now those talks can get going again. Whether they bear fruit is up to all of us.
Liberal activists blasted the deal, saying the Democrats had caved in, with some calling it the Schumer sellout. But Democratic leaders say McConnell assured them that even if there's no vote on an overall immigration issue, the Senate will still vote on a bill focused on protecting the Dreamers.
To all the Dreamers who are watching today, don't give up.
McConnell says a bipartisan group of senators are to thank for bringing the shutdown crisis to an end. But if lawmakers don't compromise on some big issues by February 8th, the government could run out of money once again. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Well, in other news, Alaska was under a tsunami warning earlier today after a massive 7.9 earthquake off the coast. John Jessup has that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
That is right, Gordon. That tsunami warning was canceled, though, after no waves hit communities along the Alaska coastline. The quake struck around 12:30 a.m., about 170 miles southeast of Kodiak Island in the Gulf of Alaska, and triggered a tsunami warning for coastal Alaska and Canada's British Columbia. The National Weather Service sent alerts warning people to seek higher ground or move inland. The U.S. West Coast temporarily was under tsunami watch as well. Well, during his second full day in Israel, Vice President Mike Pence visited the Holocaust Museum and the Western Wall, two of Jerusalem's most revered sites. He's also receiving high praise for a speech in the Knesset that won over the hearts of many Israelis. Chris Mitchell brings us that story from Jerusalem.
The first official stop Tuesday for Vice President Pence was Israeli President Reuven Rivlin's house, where he repeated the White House plan to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem by the end of next year. He also put Europe on notice that changes are coming to the nuclear deal with Iran.
We are sending a signal to our European allies that the time has come for changes in the Iran nuclear deal that will ensure that the sunset provisions in the deal are completely eliminated.
On all his stops, Pence has enhanced his reputation as a friend of Israel. He gracefully handled Monday's protests by Arab lawmakers in the Knesset, and his speech drew praise, both in the media and from the Prime Minister.
You saw people standing up again and again, applauding you, applauding the principles that guide your policy, applauding the genuine friendship that emanates from your heart.
The next stop in Pence's final hour was an emotional one, at Yad Vashem with his wife Karen.
Many observers note that the Pence visit is a personal pilgrimage as much as a political tour. That's no more evident than here at Jerusalem's Western Wall.
As the vice president concluded his trip with prayers near Judaism's holiest site, it was perhaps a fitting end to a trip designed as a search for the threads of peace in the Holy City and the Middle East. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Thanks, Chris. And Gordon, with that trip, it looks like Vice President Pence was really trying to make clear that he is a friend of Israel.
Well, he's made that clear, and I also think with the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, I actually think it'll be key for leading to peace, because the Palestinians have to recognize they're never going to drive Israel into the sea. So how can they live together with Israel? We'll see, but it could be the spark that leads to peace.